For classic matches, just like the World Cup videos, why not go to patreon.com/drunkredhead. Once again, we look at the future with What Happened on My Universe mode! No fireworks here in Atlantic City, New Jersey for NXT. The show opened with the opening contest from the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and it featured the Tag Team Champions Enzo Amore and Big Cass against American Alpha Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. Amore got the first couple of shots in with a crossbody and a DDT, but next move up he got reversed and Chad Gable got the advantage. Gable took down Enzo Amore and then locked in the stump puller, which we've not seen in a while. Amore didn't tap out though, he broke free, locked on an arm wringer. Enzo was only in control for a second though, as Chad Gable caught his foot on the next move and hit him with a heel kick, then a drop kick off the second rope, before nailing Enzo Amore several times in the back. Enzo though was able to reverse the next move and threw Chad Gable off him and hit him with a huge Eat Defeat. Enzo then tagged out and we got some double teamness before Big Cass took out Jason Jordan and started beating on Chad Gable, not giving Chad Gable a chance to tag out, and after a big boot he took out Jordan one more time before we saw a massive splash off the top rope aided by Big Cass, and Enzo Amore and Big Cass were victors in the first round match. Their opposition in the semi-finals is the winner of this match, the Revival, who were taking on the debuting team of TM61, Nick Miller and Shane Thorne. Before the match had even got started, Scott Dawson headed to the outside to take out TM61, first beating down on Shane Thorne and then suplexing Nick Miller. In fact, it was suplexes for everyone on the outside. Dawson got back in the ring, but then Dash Wilder did his bit to hurt the legal man Nick Miller on the outside, and once he was in, the Revival did their thing and destroyed him. All this ended when the Revival nailed Nick Miller with a shatter machine and went for the pin, which they got. Shane Thorne couldn't help his partner, and the Revival move on to take on Enzo and Cass in the semi-finals. The other two first round matches from the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic are next time on NXT, but now on this edition, JBL, the Hardcore Champion, headed to the ring to say his piece. JBL said he didn't care what anyone thought and that he was better than 3 people in the crowd all at once. He then said that it was WWE and he should be treated like a king. He also said that if Mr. McMahon was looking for a face of the company, he's staring right at him, and that he is just that intelligent. And that concluded the lesson for the day. Next up, it was another debuting superstar, Kassius Ohno, and he was facing a returning superstar, someone who hasn't been on it for a while, Mojo Rawley, and he looks real now. It's almost as if it was a created character last time he was on. Either way, he still sucks. Kassius Ohno took him out straight away and hit him with a cradle pile driver and a German suplex, a dirty German, before knocking him out with a forearm. Ohno continued first with a bro kick which bust him open and then finishing him off with a forearm to the back of the head, and he was down for the count. Kassius Ohno victorious on his debut. In the penultimate match of the evening, the NXT Women's Champion Asuka headed down to the ring to take on another debuting superstar, Billie Kay. Billie Kay surprised Asuka in the early bits of this match, first reversing a strike, then hitting her with a DDT, and while she was down, she choked her out of it. But when she went for her next move, Asuka was ready for her and reversed. Asuka then went on the warpath, kicking her in the head, hitting her with a butt bump to the face in the corner, and then a side suplex before hitting her with another hip attack, this time while she was on her knees. After a backslide driver, Asuka locked in the Asuka lock, and Billie Kay eventually had to tap out because everyone taps out to the Asuka lock. Asuka wins once again. And after that, it was time, well, it wasn't time for the main event. We had one more promo before we headed off there, and it was another debuting superstar with Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa said that he was about to drop a bombshell on all of y'all, and that the heinous behaviour perpetrated by a certain superstar was annoying him. Bo Dallas was getting called out. Dallas looked angry, like someone had just woken him up from a park bench and started spouting it out. The same stuff that JBL was saying, don't care about what people think. Dallas then said he came out looking for trouble, and luckily Ciampa said that he was looking for trouble, he didn't need to look any further. Dallas said that he was tired of looking at Ciampa's face and then said they were going to have a match, that he was going to win. Ciampa then said fighting him was a lost cause and it wouldn't end well for Bo Dallas. They then stared down each other as we headed off to our main event, which featured RTruth, who as always was rapping himself down to the ring, and he was facing off against the NXT champion Samoa Joe, who began by headbutting RTruth down. Joe then hit what I can only call a reverse Canadian backbreaker before going for a punch, which RTruth reversed and smacked him in the face himself, and then nailed a neck breaker. Truth hit an elbow drop off the second rope and tried to wear Samoa Joe down, however, Joe was ready for that. He reversed, hit him with a punch to the gut and a huge powerbomb. He went for the pin, but at the 2 count, he changed it up and turned it into a modified Boston Crab, and RTruth could not take the pain, and just like that, Samoa Joe was victorious via tap out. There was a surprise in store for Joe though, as hopping over the guardrail was Psycho Sid, who took him down, kicked him in the gut a few times, took him out with a short clothesline, hit a choke slam, and then a gigantic powerbomb as we ended the show with Psycho Sid standing over Joe's lifeless body. That's it for another What Happened on My Universe mode. 205 Live next. Like and subscribe.